movies for black girl nerds.
Hello, hello. My
Hello.
name is Stacy Vaughn. I'm with Black Girl Nerds. I am so excited to be talking to you ladies about this fantastic little show. I first of all love both of you, and I wanted to ask, would you like to go by Michaela J? Is that
Yes, ma'am.
instead of MJ? I'm used to MJ, and I know everyone is, so I want to get it
It's
right.
okay if you call me MJ though. I'm not mad at it.
Okay, okay. Well, I actually want to start with you. Sophia is such a character. I absolutely love Molly's kind of complete blinders when it comes to the rest of society. And Sophia seems to be perturbed by that, to say the least, and understandably so. Tell us, do you think that Sophia will find a way to kind of, relate to Molly? And what is it in Molly that would be relatable to her?
I think yes. Well, no, I know yes. They will definitely come to a standpoint where they understand each other, and I think that point is them being women in positions where they are really literally proving themselves every waking moment so that they can be secure. I mean, and if I can speak from Sophia's standpoint, she's someone who is trying her best to fit this mold of what a businesswoman is, what a COO is to the CEO of a company. She wants to be or emulate the image of what and how a woman should be in this position, but she also has these things stacked upon her, obviously being a person of color, obviously being someone who hasn't received a lot. So yeah, and it's always great to see the differences between the two, because yes, Molly is this bigger than life, free spirited, just like spontaneous character. And I think also Sophia wants to see some of that in herself. She's trying to release it, but not finding a way. And I think when we come to the end collectively, we see these two really like mesh like how they were supposed to
Yeah,
mesh.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And Maya, kind of running on that, like we said, Molly is kind of this character who has so much, but she does have roots. And she specifically has roots in a background where she wasn't as rich and, influential as she was now. What will we kind of see her go back to those roots? Is that something that you think Molly is interested in and kind of returning to that?
Yeah, I think, we were talking earlier about the pandemic and how it forced people to look at their lives or revisit things that they hadn't thought about before. And I think when you're in a moment of transition, this woman is going through a divorce and she's examining so many aspects of her life. It led her to this office where she's reconnecting with a cousin that she wasn't really paying that much attention to. And the next thing you know, she's really having to answer questions about, some people, somebody who she was so close to feels slighted because she didn't necessarily choose to. She was choosing her husband's life and being supportive of that, and that led to this. And getting a chance to heal, I think, and talk about those things, I think is just one of the many elements of what's wonderful when you examine a person's life, that on the outside it seems like, the story of a billionaire and what that is, but everyone has so many layers, and how they got there is so interesting.
Well, we all need a little wee wee to set us straight from now and then, now and
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I wish you to the best with this show. I hope we hear some Princess on the soundtrack. That might be a spoiler, but we'll keep our
Oh,
ears open.
okay.
Very nice. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much for talking with us. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
You
you.
too, my love.
I am really excited to be talking with you guys about this film. It's very fun, very funny, and it's really kind of refreshing. So I wanted to start with you, Nat, with of course, the whole thing is about Molly finding out she has this charity that she didn't know about,
Mhm,
and Arthur is the accountant for
mhm.
that charity. Everyone else kind of looks at Molly like, fish out of water. She's a little crazy, but you seem to have an affinity for her. What is it about Molly that you think appeals to Arthur?
I think probably her bubbly, outgoing personality and
Mhm.
her ability to kind of just, you know, put her energy forward and not, maybe at least on the surface, it doesn't look like she's doubting herself, that she, I think there are probably a lot of those quiet moments where she is, but I think to him, he sees this sort of star, celebrity type person that's glowing, that's energetic and vivacious and outgoing, and I think he's sort of attracted to that energy because it's so opposite from his own kind of the space that he lives in, which I think is a little quieter, a little bit more mindful, a little more solitary. And so I think he is attracted to that and I think wants to be around that so that it can kind of rub off on him a little bit.
Well, I'm very interested to see where that couple goes. I kind of like the sparks there. There may be some sparks, so we'll see.
Yeah, right.
Right. Ron, you play Howard, but you have another fun little nickname. Tell us what that nickname is.
Lil Wee Wee.
Lil Wee Wee.
Yeah.
What I love about that is, of course, it is 100% an anchor for Molly to kind of get back to her roots. Would you say that it's fair to say that that's kind of Lil Wee Wee's purpose, how he interacts with her?
Yeah, absolutely. I think how it represents all the good aspects of family, the part that's always there for you no matter how far you might stray. Someone who you might not have seen for 2, 3, 4 years, but when you're back together, it's like no time has passed. Somebody who would tell you how it is, and I think that's what Howard represents. He loves that his cousin has money. He loves that she's been able to provide him with a job, but he doesn't let that money kind of paint what he would say to her. He still tells her the truth. And I think that's a big part of their relationship.
Well, I love the energy between you two. It's so fun. And it just warms my heart because every family has a little wee wee in it. So I'm glad to see it. And Joel Kim Booster, first of all, congrats on Fire Island. It's fantastic. I absolutely love you in it. And I love your role in this because it seems like, he's just kind of the yes man and that kind of thing. But there seems to be this true affinity between him and Molly. And so do you find that it might go deeper than what people would assume?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's definitely an archetype out there of the officious gay assistant that we've seen time in and time out. But I think what Alan and Matt did was really smart, and they sort of added several layers of depth, I think, to that relationship. Yes, he is a ride or die for Molly, but I think that you see over the course of the season that relationship is anchored in real affection and real almost like she is like a second mom, I think, to Nicholas in a way, and that's sort of how he sees her, and they lean on each other, and you see that dynamic sort of shift over the course of the season in really interesting ways.
Now, would she be okay with being the mom, or would she say the aunt or the older sister?
Yeah, I think maybe older cool cousin.
There we go.
Yeah, I should prefer it.
Well, I absolutely love all three of yours performances. I think it's such a cute show, and it's something that it makes you think, but it's not overly heavy, it's not too weighty, but it's very, very fun. So congrats to all three of you on the show, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.